the chicken pen.
What?
So we're going down to the chicken pen more.
Can I go?
State the nature of the business.
Can I go?
Yeah, I reckon.
What?
Yeah, I reckon. Where's your sister and your brother?
Playing on the jungle. Just killing that to do a cool tricks that I've never seen before.
What's that?
She's like doing this on the top red bars.
Oh, yeah?
And she's actually laying down the blue bars to the top.
Wow.
She's doing it really good.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Floor.
Okay.
We all play on it. Climb all over it. Learn new heights. Learn new tricks.
Dad, can we always come down to the belt pen with me to stay on?
Sure. Yeah. All right, well, I just figured I'd give you guys a little update on the shop. I don't remember the last thing I posted even. Maybe that we were finished out the flooring up there, maybe. Got a little video about putting some hay up in the loft, I think. But anyway, I was going to give you kind of a general, of course I made the video about getting the foam done. So we got our foam. But what I want to show you today, just kind of as a general update, is we've been working on framing out the rest of this wall here, and I just wanted to explain to you why we're doing it the way we are. It looks kind of stupid to have your bottom wall section coming to about 7 feet, and then you got a little short foot tall, and then another, 2 foot tall or whatever. But ultimately, we did it in steps like that to get around where those angle braces come down, and we just didn't want to fight with doing a straight 10-foot wall all the way up. So, honestly, in hindsight, probably more work the way we did it. But we kind of did it at, the bottom section, basically we were able to do as a, just kind of a prefab stud wall, stand it up, nail it in. And of course we're screwing it to the metal studs as we go. And then the middle section here we did, the plan was to have it done as a wire chase, which we've ended up using the upper section as the wire chase now. But the middle section, you can see it doesn't have a top and a bottom sill. Your lower wall has a double top sill. Then your middle wall has a single top sill, if that makes sense, just the bottom row there. And then your top wall, the uppermost wall, just has a single bottom and top sill. These upper two walls, really they're just there to screw OSB to. They're not really load bearing in any way. Really even the bottom wall isn't load bearing other than to support the two walls on top of it. None of it is actually supporting any structural members. Like over here, obviously double top sill because the loft is supported on that lower wall. But as far as these on the upper walls, we mostly are just boxing it all out so that we've got a place to hide wires, and so we've got something to skin the OSB to. So, like I said, we ultimately, yes, we could have just gone 10-foot studs all the way up and made sure we set a stud either side of the metal post, and maybe that would have been better. But I guess for us, this just appeared to be a a manageable chunk that we could bite off. You know, we do a little bit now, a little bit then. You know, so we have the bottom wall framed almost all the way around before they came in and sprayed the foam. But having the bottom wall all done made it to where, you know, I could be working on the upper wall section and Katie was nailing in all the boxes and running all the electrical. So today, my goal for today, and I got it done, was to just get this north wall run all the way to that corner. I still don't have it run all the way up in the loft. You can see the upper wall ends right there in the loft. That little short middle wall there, it goes, I think, all the way into the corner up in the loft, but the upper wall just ends right there. But anyway, it was enough that it gave us a place to start running wires and yeah, getting circuits pulled. So on the electrical, Katie's been going through, of course, you know, I have to brag that my wife has figured out the electrical, and she's doing more of the electrical now than me. The only thing she's making me do is hook them up in the panel, because she doesn't like messing in the breaker panel. But she's wiring up all the receptacles. See, she's super organized, you know, outlet 1, outlet 2, got them all labeled on their circuits. She's got where the wires pull down over here at the breaker panel, she's labeling all that. But she's got these first 2 runs of, other than me hooking the breaker up, these 2 receptacles here are done. Here is the 20 by 240 for the jointer. Right beside it, there's a 20 by 240 for her saw stop table saw. Come over here into the corner. She hasn't wired this one yet, but this is going to be a dust collector. It's going to be a 30 or a 40 by 240. I can't remember. So we went ahead and ran it as a double gang. If we put in a, like our current dust collector right now is a 20 by 120, so we could plug it in anywhere. So she went ahead and wired this up for a bigger dust collector that she hopes to get in the near future. Anyway, she's trying to get that north wall finished out. That's kind of between that and this post. So this is a 30 by 240. This is for the planer, which I don't even think I ever made a video about that, but we picked that up off of Facebook Marketplace, got a really good deal on a used planer. It's got like a 20 inch Grizzly, yeah, Grizzly 20-inch spiral cutter head. That's important, spiral cutter head. We picked that up off Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, so that takes a 30 by 240, and then right here she's got just a 120, 20 by 120. This is going to be for her drum sander. So we wanted to get these main circuits. With these circuits hooked up, technically we can bring tools home. Now, she's going to be a stickler on me, I know, and she's not going to want to bring tools home yet. But if I get these all wired into the panel, which she's run all the wires, so all I got to do is get them hooked into the panel, and in theory we can bring her tools home and we can get them plugged in. We've been really holding off doing that so that we have the space to work in here. We don't want to necessarily get all the tools set in here, and then we're trying to work around the tools while still working on building out the shop. But at the same time, I really want to get the tools brought home, because that way she can start actually working on her projects here versus over at her parents' place. And, you know, to be fair here, projects take priority because projects make money. Building the shop doesn't make money, it costs us money. So finishing out the shop and putting the wallboard up and making it look pretty, that'll come. That will get done eventually, and that's why these updates probably are going to be a little more sparse, because we're not working on this steadily all day, every day. You know, it's been months now, off and on, that we've been working inside the shop, and that's just the way it goes. But so ultimately, you guys see where we're at. That's why I just wanted to kind of make this as a summary, so you kind of get the idea. All of this interior framing, it'll come on around this end wall, and as it does come around this end wall, then we can get all these receptacles done, and so on and so forth. It'll go on around, you know, all the way around the shop. That interior framing will go. And like I said, mostly just so we have places to hide wires. For this right here, we've got to run one more circuit. She wants to put a big bandsaw here, but I think we'll take a 240, and that's why she put that double gang box there. And I think she did a single gang 120 just as a you know, option to plug something random into. But for that, we'll run one more. I guess you guys can see how we did the conduit. She wanted to run the wires and conduit just for aesthetics. I mean, running Romex wire, we could have just strapped it off the post and it would have been fine. But she wanted to put it inside conduit, so this conduit here, the one that's existing, comes up and over and comes down on this pole. We've got our 10-3 and 12-3, or 12-2, I'm sorry, coming down to run these two circuits. They both come down inside of here, and then this is actually a T. It's not just a junction, it's actually a T, and it goes through the post into the back of this box. So the wires come into here and then they split and go to the two separate circuits. She wants to run one more conduit up and over, and it'll come all the way over and down to this wall to power those two boxes. Otherwise, we've got to bring a wire all the way around through the hayloft and then across above the door and down. So anyway, like I said, I just want to give you guys that update, tell you where we're at. I don't know, maybe I'll give you an update once we actually start putting OSB on the walls. But right now, we've just been trying to crunch on it to get the electrical run so that we can actually bring our tools home and use them. So I don't know if I'll get them brought home this week or not. I'd love to, but I don't know that we will. We'll see.